Greetings, imagination connoisseurs. Once again, it is I, your Duke of Dope Discourse, your master of fun and wonder, your viceroy of verisimilitude, but more importantly, your pharaoh of physical media, Robert Meyer Burnett, and I'm here with episode 33. We're as old as Jesus. Episode 33 of Let's Get Physical Media. Once again, I'm still off tune, but you know what? I've got my favorite German, your favorite German, the world's favorite German. Hey, Germany might not be playing today, but that's okay. You know why? Because we've got all the way from Saarbrücken, Deustchland, Mr. Dieter Bastian. Dieter, how are you today, sir?
Greetings, imagination connoisseurs. Dieter here. Here I am, rock you like a hurricane. And welcome to the B&B Motel for Let's Get Physical Media for our liquor number, show number 33. And, of course, I have to thank my manager because we're doing the show a little bit early. Because perhaps in 2 or 3 hours, it can happen, Rob. Football is coming home to, wait for it, England. England.
Yeah, because the Germans choked. Chokers.
Come on, Rob.
Chokers.
On, Rob. It's already behind us. It's behind us, okay? You have to bring
That's
that
what
up
she
again.
said.
Yeah. Unbelievable. So here we go a little bit early at the B&B Motel to give you the latest updates on what we bought this week, or what we did get, what we have seen this week, and of course, what was happening in the live chat last week. So how do we start, Rob?
Well, maybe we should start with some news. Because there's probably at least, I should say, for me, Dietz, and I can call you Dietz, right? For me, Dietz, perhaps, I have to say that 2020 and 2021, already 2021, we've had some incredible physical media releases. Last year, 2020, saw Dawn of the Dead. The second sight, Dawn of the Dead disc, perhaps, one of my most eagerly awaited pieces of physical media. But there is one thing that I've been waiting for, I think a lot of us have been waiting for a very, very long time, that was finally announced. And I should mention that, so as we all know, the Star Trek movies have been a staple of home video. Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan back in 1982 was one of the very first sell-through tapes. It was priced, the VHS was priced at $39.95. Paramount pioneered this with Officer and a Gentleman and Star Trek II. So what we've been waiting for is 4K releases of the Star Trek movies. They released Star Trek II, the director's cut, on Blu-ray, but they restored it in 4K, but it hadn't come out as physical media yet. And this week, there was a monster announcement of Star Trek movies. But the most significant thing for me was 20 years ago, Robert Wise worked with a team of people I know, like Dave Fine, Mike Mendocino, and of course the great Darren Dochterman, to create a director's edition of Star Trek the Motion Picture. It had never existed before. Robert Wise never had time to finish Star Trek the Motion Picture because they were locked into a release date. So the version that was released to theaters was a little sloppy. Then there were different versions of Star Trek the Motion Picture, one that aired on ABC television. So Robert Wise, with a team of dedicated Star Trek professionals and fans, was able to go back and do a restoration. The problem was they only restored it at NTSC video resolution. So it only existed in standard def. Well, one of the byproducts of them going back and transferring Star Trek the Motion Picture and all of the first 4 Star Trek movies to 4K is that now they had a 4K master of the original Star Trek the Motion Picture that could later be used to build the director's edition in 4K. So they announced Star Trek the Motion Picture will be coming out about 8 months hence, finally in the director's edition, restored to 4K. Very, very excited about this. I'm curious, my friends like Darren Dochterman, the visual effects supervisor, it'll be interesting to see if he's capable himself of working to create visual effects in 4K that are as convincing, because obviously 4K is 12 times more resolution than what he was working at when he did the standard def visual effects himself. I'm wondering if they're going to have to bring an outside team in to help. to recreate their effects, or whether they're going to be able to do. It's going to be fascinating to watch, but I'm very, very exciting. I'm very, very excited, and it's very, very. I'm just excited to see the results, and then also. Oh, go ahead. Hang on 1 second. Wait. Go ahead.
Okay. And in September, at first, there will be released the movie edition, so the original movie in 4K, as far as I understand it. The
Yes. Now, here's what they're doing. This is the box of 4K versions. Now, what's odd to me is they're releasing Star Trek the Motion Picture through Star Trek 4, as opposed to Star Trek, a box set of Star Trek 5 and 6. But from what I understand, so here's the new 4K releases, and it's kind of got this wacky, newly commissioned artwork that's kind of strange. I mean, Kirk and Spock are in their motion picture uniforms, but McCoy is in a mighty maroon that was introduced in Star Trek 2. And, the artwork isn't bad. It's just, it looks like the cover of a comic book, which, I guess isn't a bad thing. But what's interesting to me is they're going to break up the Star Trek 4K releases into, as I understand it, 3 different box sets. So we're going to get Star Trek, the motion picture, through Star Trek 4, which makes sense because Star Trek 2, 3, and 4 are kind of the unofficial Voyage Home trilogy. Yeah. And then they're going to release, apparently, Star Trek 5, The Final Frontier, Star Trek 6, and Star Trek Generations in a box set. So that's going to close out the original series characters, because of course Chekhov, Scotty, and Kirk appear in Generations. And then they're going to do the Enterprise E box set. With the Enterprise E was of course introduced in First Contact after the Enterprise D was destroyed in Generations. So we're going to get the Enterprise E box set, which is going to be First Contact, Insurrection, and of course Nemesis. And they're finally going to be in this box set, and also individually we're finally going to get Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan on Blu-ray and 4K. I believe individually, maybe it's just on Blu-ray, but we're finally getting the director's cut on physical media, which has come out on Blu-ray before in the 50th anniversary box set, but not in 4K. So that, for me, is hugely exciting. The director's cut of Star Trek the Motion Picture. Star Trek the Motion Picture is my favorite Star Trek movie. Now, when I say that, do I believe it's the best Star Trek movie? No, I think undisputably the GOAT as far as Star Trek movies go is Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, which I understand. But Star Trek the Motion Picture is my favorite Star Trek movie. I think it is, and people are going to say, what? I think to me it most encompasses what the original series was all about. And it harks back to some of my favorite episodes of the original series, like the Doomsday Machine, like the Immunity Syndrome. And it has a lot more humor than people might realize. And there's a real sense of awe and cosmic wonder in Star Trek the Motion Picture that I thought was new to Star Trek. But I could go on and wax rhapsodic about the motion picture for a long time, which I will spare everyone because everyone will be bored.
Go to the critical drinker review with you.
Yes, yes, you can watch our 4-hour critical. I did a review with the critical drinker, which I think is great. But this wasn't the only exciting news that came out this week. There's been a lot of great 4K stuff, but finally, a movie that I've owned in many iterations, but finally Universal has dated John Carpenter's The Thing. Now, as we all know, Dieter Bastian has some very enviable, I'm envious of his collection of, he's got The Thing, and wait, Dieter, are you going to buy it again?
Of course, I don't have it in 4K, Rob. What can I do?
I'm just look. I'm just checking. Yeah. So I mean, we've been getting a lot of amazing 4K stuff, and as you and I have said, 4K is probably the end of the line of physical media. So when we've gotten some amazing releases. At the end of last year, we got The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit in 4K. We recently received Indiana Jones, and those transfers are spectacular. The Rambo series. What's that?
The good, the bad, and the ugly.
Good, the bad, and the ugly. American Werewolf in London, those Turbine releases.
Yeah.
We've been receiving...
Hills Have Eyes.
The Hills Have Eyes. I mean, we've been getting... by the way, that transfer is terrific. We've been getting an embarrassment of riches when it comes to 4K. And what I like about it is, in a way, the end of physical media, and it's coming. I mean, make no mistake. sure, we're going to be getting stuff for a while, but I feel that I've been buying physical media for 41 years. I bought my first piece of physical media. And when I say physical media, of course, I was always buying records and cassette tapes. But I've always thought of physical media as movies first.
Yeah,
and I bought the first movie I ever bought was in May of 1980. And it was the Meta, before it became media, version of Halloween on VHS. It was one of my parents' bar mitzvah presents to me when I was 13. They got me that and a Dogtown skateboard with tracker trucks and Kryptonic 70 millimeter wheels and a Cryptstick board. Or no, that was a Dogtown board I had. So I got to build my own skateboard, and I got Halloween. That was my bar mitzvah presents for my
parents.
Which
will be coming out later this year.
Which is coming out in 4K. That was another huge announcement that I actually forgot to grab the covers for, because
I think the first 5 ones.
Yes, Shout Factory or Scream Factory announced they're doing the first 5 Halloween movies. I don't know if it's going to be a box set. They showed individual artwork. I don't know if they're going to release them all together.
I have not seen a box set for.
Yeah, I don't know if they can. I might be a rights issue. I have no idea. Mustafa Akkad and his family is still are part of that. And obviously that's in support of Halloween Kills. That'll be coming out, so they're tying those together. And look, the one thing about Halloween is Halloween's a movie I've seen 100 times, and it's had a hard time, I think, on DVD, Blu-ray, and I hope now 4K, because the movie's very difficult to color grade correctly.
Okay.
A lot of the time, it doesn't look like it's supposed to look because the seasonal, they didn't shoot it in October, so they had to do a lot of things to make it look like October, and sometimes the film has been betrayed by its color timing, so hopefully not this time. So we shall see. I
see in the live chat, not only both of us are excited for the thing in 4K. Arn is excited too for the thing in 4K.
I think the thing is a masterpiece of paranoia. Yeah. But other than that, those were that was like the big news for us imagination connoisseurs here on the Burnettwork and on Let's Get Physical. So media. Yeah, good job. Way to sing it. Yeah. So where are we at now? What do you have for us, Dietz?
What I have for you is, of course, previously on observations from last week, a mega bitch. Nice username said, "Hey Dieter, so from a scale of 1 to 10, how pissed are you at, wait for it, England?" Mega bitch, I wasn't pissed at England. I wasn't pissed at my team. So they get a 1 out of 10 for that performance from last week, okay? Arn was sorry about the game. What can you do? And she said she liked the Ricky Martin's World Cup song. I don't remember that when it came out, the Ricky Martin World Cup song.
I only remember the New Order World in Motion World Cup song. Mm-hmm. Everything else just pales in comparison.
Tim Hens said, "It's all the fucked up over Brexit." Yes, that's right. I never voted for Brexit, but Tim, enough voted for it. So what can you do? Okay. Arn asked, wait, where is it? That nice picture of beauty,
Hang on, hold that up. Wait, hold it up again. Yes.
That one? Was it all you hoped for? She asked me. Not really.
It's no wild things, exactly. Is it? No wild things.
Correctly. So it was not. It was a little bit lacking in the. Somehow it was a little bit lacking in the story department. Why? I actually don't know. So that was he was asking, and normally we can do the show a little bit earlier today because Rob didn't have to do Midnight Metal or couldn't do Midnight Metal. Last week he did Midnight Metal, and someone said Rob doesn't even look hangover. And Joshua Levecken answered, maybe he has a higher alcohol tolerance than we thought. Joshua Levecken, he always established in his biopic, another round, Rob works best at 0.5 blood alcohol level, which he always has in the morning still.
It's true.
He's working totally fine, okay? So.
The Danish know what's up.
Yeah. Or he probably has a higher tolerance. Could be too. Said, "What's up is great." Of course, What's up is great. And she said she almost watched it last night, but she ran out of time. I think she talked about the Tomorrow War, which Rob is getting a sequel.
Getting a sequel, The Tomorrow War. It's done very, very well for Amazon. They're very excited about it, so they've put it into active development. And, whether you like The Tomorrow War or not, I mean, for me, it was a fine B movie. If it came out in, 1984, I'd be like, oh, it's just it's as good as The Last Starfighter. People are like, wait, what, Rob?
I heard that comment from you, and I thought, around 1994, that would be a great movie at that time.
84.
84, correct. Before we seen Starship Troopers and all the other stuff. Right? So, Laughingstock Media said, Amazon really needs to work on its shipping. I really get my movies in the mail. I rarely get my movies in the mail in pristine condition. Laughingstock Media, I feel you, bro. It's unfortunate. What can you do? Okay. Is back again. She asked me about this one. Surfer Girl. You must lend it to me. I could send a copy of the movie with the next package to Rob if you really want the movie. I haven't seen it, so I can't tell you if it's any good. And she asked, how do you say Surfer Girl in German? So Surfer is the same in German. So actually it would just be Surfer Mädchen. But nothing.
Not Surfer Fräulein?
Oh, Surfer Fräulein, correct. Surfer Fräulein.
Come on, I'm up on Germany. Come on now.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe not on their football prowess, but, the language.
But not really, surfing has not really a separate German wording for it. Not as far as I know. Mala said, half of Dieter's purchases don't appear in the IMDb. Come on, Mala, of course they appear in the IMDb. Even a picture of beauty is in the IMDb. You can find it, okay? 200 Watt Studio said a little bit with a laugh out loud moment, Dieter, please stop interrupting Rob. 200 Watt Studio, I have to, because she's running mouse, you have to get something in between, Okay. Arn said she loved the business card that I showed from the American Psycho set. And like you said, Rob, Matt Risman said the drawing would be in his journal. The drawing that I showed last week from American Psycho.
Yeah.
So, Pod Racing Palpatine said, Dieter, I thought this was your show and Rob was just a guest. Pod Racing Palpatine, you know what? This Burnett guy is a clever cookie, He's known me now for a while. He thought, this douche is crazy. If I put him on a show about physical media and show people how crazy he is, my purchases are all justified. Well-curated stuff from the Criterion, my 5 Crash editions, all is fine. If I show the world this crazy douche.
So you're onto my secret. You're onto my secret.
Yeah. That's his take. Pod Racing Palpatine, okay? He's a clever cookie that way, okay?
I appreciate you saying that.
He lets me run the show, and then, look, Elizabeth, I didn't bought all this trash that Dieter got. I just got the fine stuff, the fine artsy house.
I just want to point out what a good producer does is find top talent and hang back and let that top talent do their thing, but then I get to take credit. I found you, a diamond in the rough, all the way in Saarbrücken, Deustchland, and here you are now, 33 weeks later, and people are still watching. So how smart do I look? I think pretty damn smart.
Pretty damn good, okay?
Yeah.
And Terje said, I know Dieter is dying to hear it, poor man, and what he is talking about is, of course, finally I got the letter from Terje about bang, boom, bang. And I have his letter right here in front of me. And he says, well, hello there, Dieter and Robert. After waiting for quite a while, Bang Boom Bang finally arrived from Turbine Media. For those who don't know the movie, Dieter can give them a short introduction. Probably it's a cult movie. Let's just leave it at that and hope in the list reviews we can dive into really deep, get into it. Since the Viceroy of Verisimilitude keeps putting off watching it, for the amusement of the Kaiser Trash Panda back, I thought the ogre of originality, the Viking of videocracy, me would have a look. And a look I had. Decent presentation of a cult movie from 1999 with good image quality. It was remastered for this edition. where was I? With good image quality in regards to the production values, and even a lossless 5.1 DTS master audio soundtrack. It wasn't all too immersive, but it did its job. The movie opens up in a prison cell with some claustrophobic close-ups and so intense cigarette smoking, I thought I had to wash my clothes afterwards. Well, in the 90s, there was still smoking, I believe.
God bless them.
The scene sets up the movie in a pretty good way. The style and mood continues in a similar way. We are soon introduced to it's a little bit small here. Cake to the great Cake, a German version of Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. He even drives a green car. The movie continues in so be it familiar territories for the genre. The fuck up just gets more and more fucked, But what it does deliver on is zany characters, a great Euro vibe, and some really unexpected and funny moments. The plot is easy to follow, and while I did not expect to love this movie like Dieter does, I was thoroughly entertained. It both reminded me of early Guy Ritchie, albeit it not quite as snappy, as well as some more low-key Danish crime comedies like In China, They Eat Dogs. In China is the Hunde, great one, Terje. I remember it being awesome, but I haven't seen in China They Eat Dogs for a long time. Thanks for the tip, Dieter. I'm going to go out and get myself a 1988 Mercedes-Benz and head out for the Autobahn. Because we all know, ich bretter mit dem Ding über die Autobahn. Das ist meine Freiheit. This is my freedom. This was from Terry about bang, boom, bang. So he was entertained, and that was thrilling for me to read. Okay. And the last one, Brian Sillett. I love this show. So pleased it's on this week, because last week we didn't know if we could do a show because it was Independence Day. But he was just happy that we did a show, Rob. So this was the shenanigans from the live chat last week. Okay. And then I will delve right into it. What have I seen over this week? So I will put on this a little bit and say probably could be some spoilers here, but I hope not. So I have seen Resident Evil Infinite Darkness, the new animated series on Netflix, which I asked Rob a long time ago, where he couldn't say on which animated show he was working. Do you work on Resident Evil Infinite Darkness? He said, no, not. But he worked on Dota, which was great too. And I just wanted to watch the first episode on Thursday. And then I said, what? It's only 4 episodes long, the first season. So you could put them all together and would have a nice movie and could do a sequel too. So I liked it. Was fine. The animation was, of course, like more video cutscene, some better moments, some weaker moments. But it was just 4 episodes under half an hour, so you could easily make it into a movie. So 4 episodes is not really, it's a little bit low to call that a season or a series. Okay. Then I have seen on Netflix, I don't know if you have started it too, Rob, the Fear Street trilogy, which is
I have not.
Which consists of 3 movies. It started on July 2nd. Now July 9th was this the second one, and the last one will be coming out on Friday. It's called Fear Street 1994, 1978, and 1666, and it has all a story that combines all these movies. I really loved the first one. The second was a little bit of dip, but still good, and I'm really looking forward how the chapter will conclude. But I don't know the books, and I don't know if the books are really comparable to the movies itself. But I really liked it, Rob. Totally recommendation. But you can wait if the last one is out, so you can watch it all together, perhaps in one sitting. And the movies are, I would say, 110 minutes long each. But you get really nice caught up with what happened last week. So it's called Fear Street. Last week, before we did the show, I watched the final Indiana Jones movie of the box set. Normally, if I have box sets of 4K, normally I watch the first one and then I didn't get around to it. But at least Indiana Jones box, I went through it and I watched Kingdom of Crystal Skull again. No, it didn't get better, but a problem with Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, beside of the story, is probably the look, Rob. It looks great. Sharpness, but it looks totally digital, clean. So I don't know if you can help me out. Was this shot digitally, the fourth one?
Probably it was.
I think so. It looks totally that it was shot digital.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes they'll add grain. Like, you can actually add...
I couldn't see any.
Yeah, so I would imagine that's exactly right. It was probably shot digitally, and they didn't add a layer of grain.
So the look of the movie itself didn't fit with the other movies. The look itself is great, like, you know, the Neil Marshall movie, The Reckoning, where I said the look was not fitting the movie. It was too fine, too clean, too pristine, and Crystal Skull has that problem too. It doesn't fit in the look for the other movies. It's
well, also, you know, it's shot by Janusz Kaminski, and it doesn't have that look of cinematographer Douglas Slocum, which is what the other movies do. I mean, remember, you're the difference. The Last Crusade came out in 1989, and then Crystal Skull was like what 2008. So you're looking at almost 20 years. Camera technology is different, and Janusz Kaminski is a very different kind of cinematographer than Douglas Slocum is. So that's probably has something to do with it.
Yeah.
So it looks.
It looks great, but it doesn't fit the look of the other.
Yeah,
other
I think
movies.
They tried to caress it, but it's still you can't.
Yeah. And I think I don't know about this, but probably George Lucas was two-way in Steven's ear. Well, you can do that digitally. You can do that digitally. And probably Steven, okay, when we do it digitally, so it has that little bit of CGI goofiness on it too. So, and I finished yesterday Killing Eve, the third season. Still love it. And I think I have read the fourth season will be the final one. But they're planning some kind of spin-off. So let's all hope, as always with TV shows, that they stick the landing. So I've seen Killing Eve. And of course, Rob, a little bit talk. Have you seen Black Widow yet? Or when will you go?
I have not. I have not seen it yet.
Okay.
I want to see it in the theater.
Yeah. I have seen it on Friday. Don't try to spoil anything for the people. Rob helped me out in the MCU. Black Widow has really an opening credit sequence. I don't remember a movie with an opening credit sequence.
Yeah, I mean, they usually the main credit sequences usually come at the end.
Yeah. So it has an opening credit sequence, and there was a name, actor or actress, and I thought, great, he or she is in the movie. And then after half an hour, that actor or actress didn't appear in the movie, and then so the movie spoiled it a little bit for me, so I could put two and two together. Who is probably behind Taskmaster, because that actor or actress didn't show up. So I could figure it a little bit out early, who is probably in the costume of Taskmaster. Just because the opening credits spoiled it for me, because I was thrilled to read the name. Oh, great. He is in the movie. Awesome. But she didn't show up, and I thought, well, I think I probably know now who is in the Taskmaster costume. But I liked the movie. Totally had a good time. Florence was awesome, as expected. Like, I don't know if you have seen the Mark Hermit review about it. The accents, of course, like mine, is a little bit wonky. More Russian, more less Russian, more English, you know. But for me, totally fine. The CGI is a little bit wonky from time to time, but I really think, as far as I know, Rob, you will see it in IMAX, correct?
I'm hoping to, yeah.
And my friend says it has IMAX scenes again, Rob. I don't know about it. Oh, great. So let's hope, Rob, once again, if it comes out in 3D, that we get the IMAX scenes in the 3D version later on physical media. So I hope I didn't spoil off, but I will tell about two movies later when we get to the haul of this week. Rob,
all right.
How many titles did you get this week?
I got a few. I got my Criterion Sale haul, not all of it, because some of it hasn't come out yet. And I did get a movie that I've been waiting for that had to come from the UK because it didn't get a American disc release. A movie I haven't seen. So, would you like me to show my haul the week? First of all, I would like to begin with my haul by saying a big thank you to our patron saint, Connie. Connie sang from the Experiential Engagement Division of Harman, which is a subsidiary of Samsung. Harman is, of course, the overseers of the JBL audio brand. Okay. And because you know that Whining About Movies will be coming back, Elizabeth's going to have time open up. I'm going to make it easier for her. We're going to get a second microphone and more cameras. And I want to say thank you to Connie for sending me the Tour One wireless headphones. These are slick. They're the new JBL headphones that Elizabeth will be wearing on the show. So we will be able to have the technical prowess that Robservations and the Burnettwork tends to bring you. But so thank you to Connie for hooking us up with that. And I guess
it came out of nowhere, or did you ask about it?
Well, we might have talked.
Okay.
So Connie has been very good to both me, to this channel, and to the John Campia channel. So kudos to the Experiential Engagement Department at Harman, headed up by the lovely Connie. Now, something else came in the mail. Even though I know vaguely it was coming, I didn't have to order this. I didn't have to ask for this. My replacement 4K disc for Donnie Darko. So thanks to Arrow for such great customer service. I had purchased their 4K set directly off their website, and they had said to their customers, if you purchased it off of our website, you don't have to worry about telling us. We'll just ship out you the 4K disc. Obviously, there was a little problem with the 4K. I never saw it because I had a Sony player and it played okay, but now I can swap it out. So kudos to Arrow for their impeccable customer service.
I just only gotten my email up that I will be in the next batch of replacement discs that will come out. And I had on my system, you could see the problem with the disc.
Yeah.
You could see it, yep.
Now here's a movie. I have to say, this is the movie that I saw the trailer for this movie. There's a lot of low budget genre films, science fiction, fantasy, and horror, especially horror, that I, for whatever reason, maybe it's because I don't get Fangoria every month like I used to, that I've been unaware of. And they all are right up my alley. Weird psychological thrillers, sci-fi, twisty movies. And this was one I was really interested in. I saw the trailer for it. It's called Come True.
So you took my advice and bought it, Rob, when I showed it.
Yes. And I think you were the first person to tell me about this movie.
It will come out in Germany again as a media book. So
I went to look for this, and I watched the trailer, and I'm like, I really want to... It's not out here. So, of course, this is funny. I had ordered it probably 2 or 3... Whenever you showed it, 2 months ago or something?
Yeah,
and it finally arrived this week. So this is the British Blu-ray. So I was very happy to get this. I hope I like it. Do you think I'm going to like it?
And I think it has some nice extras, but I hope I don't. I'm not wrong about it.
Everything's falling down right now. Hang on.
Easy.
I know.
Easy.
Shit. And then, of course, I got my Criterion haul.
Okay.
The
Schnäppchen haul.
The thing, my 50% off. The thing I'm really most excited about is Tarkovsky's The Mirror. I'm a huge Andrei Tarkovsky fan, and this is a beautiful edition of this film. I love this movie. It might be my favorite Tarkovsky movie, actually, even more so than Solaris, and I love Nostalgia too. And The Sacrifice. I love this movie, so I'm happy to have that, and it's a nice pack. Of course, this I've never seen this. I've always wanted to see this. I think it's like 8 hours long. The Human Condition, which very, very, very excited to have. I mean, I already
plan accordingly.
Yeah, I mean, I talked about getting these, and of course, I've owned this on Laserdisc before. But Sam Fuller's Pickup on South Street, I had to get that, of course. And then a movie that I remember seeing this a long, long time ago, but Guillermo del Toro is remaking it, or he has remade it. So with Tyrone Power and Joan Blondell, Nightmare Alley. Finally had this. Can't wait to see it. And these just came yesterday, as a matter of fact. And of course, I had to get Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Even though people are talking about the framing or color timing, whatever. And I have other discs that I ordered from the Criterion sale. I pre-ordered that are not out yet. So, not really exciting, but
there are pre-orders, Rob, or just didn't come in?
Pre-orders, things that I ordered that were up for sale that are coming out in the next couple months. So I mean, 50% off.
What can you say? You have to get on it, on that Schnäppchen.
So that was my haul for the week.
Okay.
But like I say, every time the Criterion sale rolls around, there's less and less things that I need to get because I pretty much, have everything that I want, which is a good thing. But it's also kind of like, again, unless Criterion goes 4K, which I don't think they're going to do, although they might, because then everybody will buy their discs all over again.
Help me again, Rob. Criterion has a streaming channel?
They do. They have the Criterion channel.
There is a 4K on
yes.
on their streaming? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So,
all right.
So that's my haul for the week, man. That's what I got.
So I jump into my haul, I would presume. Let's start off with the 4K stuff that I got. This is coming. Snatch. This has come in. Just a standard. Nothing special. And it's just the Blu-ray. Okay? Snatch. Probably everybody should know it. In the vein of Bang Boom Bang and such types of movies. Before the show started, I watched another MMA movie, Rob. It's called Born a Champion with Sean-Patrick Flannery. You all know him from Boondock Saints or Young Indiana Jones movies. And he did write the story a little bit too. Was a nice movie. Not on par with Embattled with the nice Stephen Dorff, who's gotten a little bit controversy around this week. I don't know why, but he was in the news. So Born a Champion with Sean-Patrick Flannery. Nice MMA movie. It's harkened back to the day where the sport was a little bit under the radar. And Sean-Patrick Flannery did a little part of the story himself too. So Born a Champion, and probably I think it's only out in Germany as a 4K disc. Then it was on Elizaviews, and I haven't seen it in a long time. But I totally dug the normal cover artwork, even if it's out as a steelbook too. Scott Pilgrim versus the World, but I haven't seen it in a long time. But unfortunately, if it comes from a big company, you get the same thing twice. Scott Pilgrim versus the World. The next movie I can only announce one way, even if it's not tied to this movie. Mortal Kombat! Dun, 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 dun. So I got the steelbook. Let's see if I can put it out. I used those new sleeves that Rob told me about. So I hope I can open it up. So I don't... Rob, have you heard anything? Will there be a sequel to it or no?
I'm sure there probably will be. I can only imagine. But,
but
I don't know
yet. More the Scorpion-centric.
Yeah.
And inside we have, of course, Sub-Zero wins. Okay. The movie was okay in my book. Because if Kano, almost the second tier character in the game, is the best part of the movie, something is not quite right in the state of Denmark. But it has had some nice kills to it, and let's hope it was good enough to get a sequel. So Mortal Kombat 2021. Okay, let's stay in the martial arts realm. A lot of martial arts. I have not seen it. It came probably yesterday or Friday. Silat Warriors, which is, as far as I know, the combat sport for which Iko Uwais does too.
Yeah.
And it says on the front, Rob, delivers bone-crushing action, and sometimes I don't need to get more from my
That's all you need.
Stuff,
Bone-crushing action.
I don't know, Rob, if you can help me out with the next one. It's an older movie. I think it's a Spanish movie. From Mondo Macabro has put it out. It's called Hunting Hunting Ground.
I don't know the movie, but it looks like it's right up my alley.
Okay. It's from, help me, Rob. From when is it? It's from 1983. And it's some kind of, let me see, brand new 4K transfer from the film Negative, digitally restored, fully uncut, and a 50-minute interview with director. So, Cat in the Bag, Hunting Ground.
Well,
next movie I already...
it was, in fact, directed by George Grau, so I'd be interested to see what it is. I would definitely... Or actually, it's Jorge. I mean, it's Jorge Grau. You know, he directed... I'll tell you what he directed. He directed The Living Dead at the Manchester Morgue, or as we all know it, Let Sleeping Corpses Lie, that Synapse put out as a beautiful, beautiful transfer. So he's a Spanish director, and I would love to, I'd love to see that film, because I love Let Sleeping Corpses Lie. So, hey, maybe it's awesome.
So I hope it's a nice blind bag. I told about this movie. I've seen it on Hulu, but I ordered a Blu-ray a long time ago. The nice time loop movie with Adam Sandberg. Palm Springs has come out here, but unfortunately no extras considering the movie, so it's just a movie and doesn't come with a reversible cover, so I have the big rating sticker on the front. What can you do? Palm Springs. And the next one up, probably you can help me out. I don't know if I've seen it. It's from 1990. From our people in our neighbors and friends. Baby Blood. Rob.
You know what, Dieter? I don't know where you come up with this. That's why you're the Kaiser Trash Panda.
A true treasure for splatter fans, it says on the back, you know. And it's uncut, which is always a good thing. You have to be careful in Germany. Still have to be careful, okay? So, no help from you.
Well, if it's French, it automatically, they can get as gory as they want because anything French seems a little bit more highbrow because they're speaking in French.
It seems, Rob, they resurrected the video nasties in the 2000s, with Martyrs, High Tension, Inside, Frontiers, all that great stuff.
Oh, yeah, no, they brought them back in a big way.
So, Rob, I don't know about this movie. Perhaps you don't know. I don't know. El Narco, Rob. El Narco about Colombian drug war. It's from 2010. It's a media book. It says here it's the longer version. Somehow it's always runs 2.5 hours.
Yeah, because people have been clamoring for the uncut version of this, I'm sure.
This is the original title, Rob.
Don't know it, but I'd watch it.
Don't know it, okay. Welcome to Truck Hell, Rob. Willkommen in der Drogenhölle, Extended uncut, Rob, okay? That tickles my fancy. Extended uncut, Rob.
By the way, I've just looked up. I'm fascinated by Hunting Ground because there's a review of it, and it made me think of you. Here's a review of Hunting Ground. Yeah. Elegant Spanish trash. Jorge Grau's Hunting Ground is the kind of writhing slow burn drenched in classical music and littered with mixed morality and unforgettable brutality that completely blindsides you. A staunchly progressive defense attorney has her left-wing tendencies tested through an incredibly grim series of events, all at the hands of some seedy hoodlums. First they steal her car, then they try and rob her countryside villa of all the goods. It's a botched ambush job, though, resulting in these filthy criminals murdering her husband via a shotgun blast to the head. Hell doesn't end there. Oh, I don't want to say anything more. A bit of a wow and yikes for this one. Wow for just how damn thorough and engaging of a story it was. That type of hard, sturdy drama with exploitation slime oozing through its DNA that I absolutely eat up. Excellent performances, energized camera work, and a plot full of nuances and splashes of action really ground this as a solid flick. Yikes for just how damn gut-churning it is, the kind of excessive nightmare where every corner of the frame feels oppressive, only getting naughtier and more harrowing toward the collapse. There's dread in the air from minute one, and it all culminates in the most devastating final minutes with some truly shocking imagery involving, I'm not going to say,
Okay.
Wow, I want it now. Where'd you get that disc? I'm buying it.
From the US, Rob. It's a US release.
Oh, well.
It's a US release.
All right. Going right now.
Yeah. Check it, bro. Hunting ground. Okay. The next one. I haven't seen, Rob. Get the back. It's a new one, but it says on the cover up, Downton Abbey meets Evil Dead. And what can you ask more? Here comes hell. It's
there
a
you
movie
go.
that comes in 4:3, strangely, and it seems to be in black and white. It was on some film festivals. It's a media book. So look at the disc, Rob. Isn't it shiny?
It is shiny. Look, and it's shiny in chrome. I love it.
So here comes hell. So I hope the tagline is correct when it says Downton Abbey meets the Evil Dead, and we have a little bit of storyboard in the back. Here comes hell. It did come out here with different covers, and this was the one that tickled my fancy the most. Here comes hell. Okay.
I love it.
The next one. Yeah, Rob, sorry.
I love it.
Okay. The next one, I stumbled across a review on High Def Digest, and even if I think you don't have to own the movies, but the review was so good that I said, okay, it's Vinegar Syndrome, I have to get it. Don't know what you think about this spin-off series of Scanner Cop. I got the Scanner Cop 1 and 2 as 4Ks from Vinegar Syndrome. And it's, of course, we know them, a nice package. So you've got the first one, which you can always switch the covers again. It has the 4K and the Blu-ray, Rob, and the picture quality is just insane, Rob.
Okay, I have to cut in right now. So for a while in the early to mid 90s, I worked for Pierre David, his company from the Image organization, and I actually did coverage on the script for Scanner Cop before it was made. I read the script and gave notes, and when I was working,
can you tell me some of your notes? But because I've seen the first one,
dude. I can't even remember. I mean, so Pierre David produced like Videodrome and Scanners, and the
Scanners 2 and 3, I believe.
Yeah, and they were doing these movies, and obviously because Scanner Cop is a sequel to David Cronenberg was not involved. But I really wanted them to revive the Videodrome franchise. And I'm like, let's do more Videodrome now with the internet and all kinds of craziness. And so I actually probably, I mean, if I knew that you were going to do this, I could have drug up. I have it somewhere. I have my coverage that I wrote for Scanner Cop. And I'll find it. I'll look for it. But yeah, I mean, that was something that in my professional career, what script coverage is you read the script. You have to write a synopsis, then you write a review of it. Like, is this good? Should we make it? And I believe it because it was developed internally. I just gave my notes on it.
And you made it through the whole script, Rob. Didn't throw it away after the first page.
Oh no, because I was working for the company, so it wasn't. That was not an option. That was not an option.
Like with the Warner strips. Next.
Yeah.
Oh,
well, I mean, if I got it from where I was working, whether it was good or bad, I had to read the whole thing. Because then you had to be able to answer questions about it. But that's a nice box set. Look at that.
Yeah, and Rob, the picture quality of the first one, I couldn't believe it. Considering it's direct to video, you know the movie.
Yeah.
The colors are nice. Of course, it dips sometimes in the quality, but considering what the movie is, a movie like this, to see it in this quality, unbelievable. So Vinegar Syndrome comes
that's again, Vinegar Syndrome is just killing it when it comes to their packaging
and the quality with their 4Ks.
Oh, I will forever love Vinegar Syndrome for what they did for Liquid Sky. God bless them. And Body Melt.
Yeah, that's just in the same realm, but Body Melt has probably a little bit more of a cult following than Scanner Cop. So this is like the martial law series in India. Those movies to get in 4K, strange.
God bless Vinegar Syndrome.
God bless Vinegar Syndrome. The next one I actually just bought to get the steelbook, but the package was more than just a steelbook. I got Space Jam, Rob, in 4K, but this is a little bit more fluff than puff, because there is just a pin in it.
Yeah, Warner Brothers, do better.
And this takes a lot of space in it. There's just pin it, and behind you have the 4K steelbook of Space Jam. I don't know when is the sequel coming out, Rob.
Soon.
The release date soon, I believe. No, it will be on HBO Max. Am I wrong about that?
I don't think you're wrong. I'm not sure, but I don't know, to be honest. It probably will be. Won't it?
Since it should be Warner title, so it should be day and date on HBO.
Yeah,
HBO Max. So this was my haul, Rob. Space Jam is the last one.
Well, there you go. We've got people are throwing in.
This is the wait, Rob. This is called, help me, the Titan Cult Edition, something like this. But it's not as great as your 300 or Godzilla.
Right. Godzilla, well, that's thanks to the lovely Emma Bannon, who hooks me up with those HMV releases.
Emma.
Almost Famous is coming out next week. One of my most eagerly awaited titles of the year in 4K. So Midnight's Edge, After Dark, sent in a super chat and says, for now anyway, 4K, the 4K box set, it only like Indiana Jones. So what Tom's saying there is that the Star Trek discs are only coming out in a box set, not individually, the way Indiana Jones was released, which makes sense. I mean, but I'm hoping they will come out individually. They've shown that there are going to be individual discs, so we'll see. I don't know. I don't know when they're coming out. Our own Justin Toner says, "Hi, Rob and Dieter. Great. My Criterion 50% off sale haul so far is Leave Her to Heaven, Fast Times, Bringing Up Baby, great movie. It Happened One Night, another great movie. His Girl Friday, another great movie. All About Eve, one of my favorite films of all time. The Lady Eve, another great movie. Detour, The Killing, The Big Chill. Looking forward to watching them. My God, I love The Big Chill. I mean, I saw it in the theater. I love that movie. It was fantastic. What a great, Justin, you have a great haul there, sir. All good movies. Anonymous brings up something really important. Oh. The Shaw Scope. There is the Shaw Brothers box set coming out from Arrow.
I've seen it.
The Shaw Scope.
Let's Get Physical Media page.
Oh, bruh. The Shaw Scope Volume 1 box set coming in December from Arrow looks great. 12 Shaw Brothers films loaded with martial arts actions and tons of special features. Great Christmas present for me and others. I agree. Got to get that Shaw Brothers box set. 4K Star Trek film news made me so happy. You and me both. The lovely, lovely Willow Yang. Willow is here. Willow says, since you love Mommy Dearest, I do. I really do. If you had to pick one woman to be your if you had to pick one woman to be your mother, who would it be? Joan Crawford is depicted in Mommy Dearest, Livia Soprano from The Sopranos, or Margaret White, I pray you find Jesus from Carrie. Wow, Willow, that is a very
what a nice
wow. By the way, you know what? I gotta not only is she a microbiologist, but that is a very astute Murderer's Row choice. But I have to tell you, I think I'd pick Joan Crawford, Mommy Dearest herself, because I'll tell you, I would endear myself to her, and I would get myself involved in the Hollywood system and be able to direct, because I would know how to play the game. You know, I wouldn't do stupid shit the way Christina did. I wouldn't get mad at her. I would understand the pressures of what my mom was going through, and I would be there to support her the way no one else could, because I'd be smarter than that. So I would use her leverage to catapult myself into kind of like Jason Reitman did on his father. His father was Ivan Reitman, but I would be smart. I'd be a good Hollywood power player So I would use Joan Crawford to get me where I want to be, which is to have a much longer directing career than I currently have. I don't think that Livia Soprano, she'd probably eventually have me killed. And Margaret White, I mean, her religious fanaticism would drive me crazy, and I'd probably kill her. And what is it? Is that matricide?
That you always wanted to do. You could start your cult with
Well, you know what? You're right. But if I wanted to start a cult, it wouldn't be so. I don't know if I would be a fundamentalist Christian. Like if I started a cult, it would be a pagan cult where I'd want to be surrounded by witches. And I would be the one guy to facilitate the return of the matriarchal god, and there'd be lots of sex involved. So, I just don't think that I would want to facilitate that kind of thing. So Willow, that's my answer. The lovely says, Dieter, you should get the Criterion Channel if it's available. You won't be disappointed. I just watched a few selections from Robert Downey Sr., who passed away and directed the great Putney Swope.
Unfortunately, in Germany, this channel is not available, to my knowledge.
Okay, Dieter, Harry Nice Guy, have you been holding out on me here? Harry Nice Guy knows something I didn't know. Harry Nice Guy says, Tag, Dieter. Is it Tag? Do you say Tag?
Tag, yeah, Tag. This is Saarländisch slang, Rob.
Tag, Dieter.
So what does Harry know, Rob?
I read about a Klingon symposium that takes place in Saarbrücken for several years. Okay. The next one is set up by the end of November. Do you know anything about it, or have you ever participated? Kapla!
I have not participated, but since that that super chat came up, I remember hearing about it.
Are you telling me they've had Klingon symposiums in your hometown and you haven't gone yet?
No, because I can't speak but that's it, Rob.
You can't speak Klingon because you haven't learned. If you went to this symposium, you might be able to read Shakespeare in the original Klingon.
They did give me those nice subtitles in Star Trek Discovery, Rob. I didn't have to learn it,
Why you got to do that? Why you got to play me like that? Why you got to be that way?
Just saying that. But I think he's right. There is I have really to research it, Rob.
You realize I've got to get my passport renewed. And then maybe I'll have to come to Saarbrücken, Deustchland, and we will go together to this Klingon symposium, and we'll do a live broadcast, a physical media special, a special edition, because I think it's time.
The for your collection. Take it with you.
Well, I mean, look, man, it's got to be like I got to come to Europe. You and I got to try. We got to go see the lovely Emma Bannon, who might, by the way, be coming to Las Vegas. In which case, I've got to go see her. Dean Mikatich. We got to go to Sweden and see. How many people we got? Stubble McShave,
Emil Johansson.
I mean, we're gonna party with those dudes. Can you imagine getting Emil and Stubble hammered? You and I we'll sit there and watch those two.
Stubble already hammered because all of this nice Wheel of Time stuff that's coming out, all this promo stuff.
I know. But there's got to be.
He should be over the moon.
There's got to be the Robservations European tour.
Yeah.
I mean, it's we got to see Martino. Go see Martino, who he's gonna get his Lotus 7. He's got his James Bond cars. I mean, we got to see Martino. Can you imagine?
You have connections all over the world, Rob.
Over the world. I mean, I might never come home. I'll go to Europe. I don't know.
You're doing your Quiet John Kane tour, Rob.
I don't know if the super chats will sustain my tour, but I mean, if I can get because I use this YouTube channel basically to pay the house payments and the bills, but it doesn't allow me. I have to do. That's why I work on movies so I can buy hot toys. I can't. That's it. But to come to, maybe I can get it all sponsored. We can find a alcohol sponsor, a clothes sponsor, whatever, and they'll pay for our European tour. But how much fun Yeah, another round. And that's what we'll call it. The Another Round Let's Get Physical Media Tour. And we'll stay at 5% alcohol, or 0.05 the entire time.
Okay.
Come on, are you in? Are you in or out?
I have to learn Clinker now, I believe.
Well, that would be the opening, and we'll try and speak at that'll be the running joke. And will we be fluent by the end of the European tour?
I really have to research where this is taking place, Rob, in Saarbrücken, Deutschland.
Well, they've got this newfangled thing called the internet. I think you can find it.
Yeah, luckily. It's great to have that. Considering the internet, Fear Street, back to the Netflix series, who plays 1994, just to start with the computer, just in the chat room. So I remember, this is probably where Rob was doing all the Star Trek stuff, just in the chat room, typing stuff.
It was, man. I'd stay back in the day. That's all we had. We had no visuals. 200 Watt Studio sends in a super chat and says, every week, Rob says, I only got one disc. Dieter says, I got 20. Laugh out loud. Dieter, can you show us your entire collection so far?
No, it's a total mess. I have to, like Rob, I have to start.
Mine's almost done, everything.
Though. Yeah.
Like I'm almost
putting... all the DVDs are still here. I have to get something from that stuff into the cellar. Okay.
I imagine you have a half pyramid that just slopes down.
Rob, I can't move. It's all surrounded. Sometimes at one point it will all be just closed here. What can you do?
One day it's going to collapse on you, and you're not going to be able to do the show, and I'm going to have to send the authorities, and your poor mother won't be able to speak English, and she'll just be crying at me.
Yeah, that's she's always said. I watched your show at the beginning, but it's in English. I can't understand it. I said, yes, Mom, but just leave the like. That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah, smash that like button.
Smash that like
subscribe.
Button. Okay. So I've got another letter up. And would you be surprised? Omar 94 is back on the letter trail.
Omar 94 wrote a letter? No way.
This must be his first one, I believe. I never heard of Omar 1994 writing a letter. And Omar writes, Rob. Hi, Rob, and guten Abend, Dieter. Correct. It's guten Abend for me. Since you both eagerly await your physical media when it comes out, like how you both have the Indiana Jones collection and how Rob has Mommy Dearest, finally, and Basic Instinct, this had me wondering something from you too. When you both order your home media now, I wonder if you make sure you buy it immediately or wait a bit, probably for Schnäppchen. I remember when I used to collect home media and found out a movie came out on DVD, I would want to get it immediately. Also, Rob probably knows more about this since he used to work in making DVDs, let's say special features. When home media for movies now come out, I'd be interested in knowing the length of time it comes out after the movie comes out in theaters. And why that is, because I remember a good 10 years ago when I would buy DVDs, they would come out a good 5 or 6 months after the movie first came out in theaters. Yep. However, I remember when the DVD for 2012 Les Miserables film came out 3 or 4 months after it came out in theaters. I don't know if the time span is the same or shorter now, but I would be interested in knowing about it. I'm out of town, so I don't know if I will be able to watch the show live, but I will try. Thanks, live long and prosper. Omar, that is really, from my perspective, I like the shorter window to get the stuff earlier, but considering the theatrical multiplexes, it's almost a death nail to shorten that window. I remember this time too, where it took 5 or 6 months for the movie to come out, and then I remember it started probably with Fox titles. Logan came out in February, March, and then in May you already could get the 4K, the 4K of Logan. So the window got shortened and shortened. For me, it's sometimes great, so I could make my boss Patrick a little bit jealous. Look what I've got! It's just out coming in theaters here. I already got it. Mortal Kombat is still playing here, Rob. Of course, it's a little bit different situation. COVID was the kinos just opened up, so they play everything that I already have, Rob. Godzilla vs. Kong, Mortal Kombat. And sometimes I get the stuff because it's already out in the States. I hope to get Nobody this week, so I don't have to go to the theater sometimes. But it is, unfortunately, for the multiplexes a little bit of a problem. So for the shorter window. Rob,
I know.
Your take on the shorter
window?
Look,
I mean, it used to be in the 80s. Yeah. Sometimes movies took years to come out.
Yeah.
Like E.T. took years to come out. And there was still, people don't remember this, but when home video first began in the early, like I told you, my first piece of physical media I bought in May of 1980, the filmmaker Spielberg said, and I paraphrase, but I'll never forget reading this. He said and again, it's not the exact quote, but I read this and it stuck with me. He said, look, seeing the years of blood and sweat I put into making Close Encounters reduced into a cassette that can fit in the palm of my hand was more than a little disconcerting. And I think what's really interesting to try and explain to our younger viewers is that movies, when they would be seen on TV, it was years later, but movies were still, to see a movie, you would go to the theater. Like you had, if you'd watch a movie on TV, you really hadn't seen it because it was just on TV. You had to go to the theater. And that has changed. I mean, that whole thing has changed. But I do think, I still believe that any movie that's made, I don't care if it's a documentary, I don't care if it's a low-budget trash panda movie, seeing it on a big screen is a more overwhelming experience. Your senses are more active, your brain is more active, you're soaking in what you're seeing. It's a better experience seeing it on a big screen. So as much as I love physical media and all that, I like physical media to be an adjunct of the cinematic experience I already had. That said, nowadays with the windows are smaller and smaller and smaller, I think that it's I like those smaller windows too because I don't have any patience and I could be dead soon. So give me the disc now and let me watch it. And for me now, I don't care. I want it fast. But as Omar pointed out, look, I almost lost out on that big Total Recall box set. If it wasn't for the grace and foresight and helpful nature of the lovely Emma Bannon, I would not have that Studio Canal. Because remember, they were canceling our orders.
Yeah, I had pre-ordered it.
When those Studio Canal discs come out, you got to pre-order them. I love those, whether it's Kind Hearts and Coronets, whether it's the Lady Killers, which you got for me. I mean, if you don't order that shit immediately when it drops, you are SOL. I think I got a notice from Zavvi. I didn't get their Jaws 2 Steelbook. Once again, who rides in like a knight on shining armor? Emma Bannon. She's like, I got you, pal. I'm going to get you that Jaws 2 Steelbook.
Great.
And I'm like, yes, because I love Jaws 2, and to have them both. I was so pissed when I went to order that, and it's gone. Come on, man. Thank God I ordered that Zavvi True Romance Steelbook before it went away.
And if Rob and I had something to say, we would probably do it the other way. First, physical media release, and then a month later, you can stream your movie at a service.
Yeah.
So physical media release would be first before.
I'm willing to bet that Emma Bannon is not in this chat right now.
No.
Do you know why? She's with her friends, probably getting rip-roaring drunk right now, waiting because kickoff is in 35 minutes.
Correct. That's what I probably believe too.
Yeah. So I think Emma and
we started early.
Dean Mikitich is probably with her, and they're going to tear it up.
Yeah. Or they're probably in the theater again. It's 8 o'clock here, watching a movie and then watch the game.
No, I think they're going to start. I wouldn't want to go see a movie. I would want to go to the look. I love seeing the World Cup. I love watching the World Cup here. Believe it or not, I got a Facebook memory from 11 years ago when I went and was watching a World Cup game. I don't remember. Was it Brazil? I'm guessing. And I was like,
good guess. They always in it, Rob.
my memory is I just got a pitcher of beer at 10 o'clock in the morning. Happy World Cup Day or whatever. I'm like, hell yes, that's fantastic. By the way, Stubble McShave says, Dieter and Rob, you are welcome to come here to Sweden. I have the ropes, the typewriter, and the sledgehammer ready. You know I'm your biggest fan, right? You're our number one fan, that's what you want me to say. Wow.
I would really like to walk home.
No, he's going to hobble us. So we're going to be hobbled. Can you imagine we both have our feet destroyed by his
those people up in the north,
Scary bunch of folks, man.
So,
do you have a special edition?
Yeah, Rob, I have a special edition. And it was considering, I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago, where I said you were envious about it. I told you, no, you don't need to be because you have the way bigger and nicer and shinier head. But I brought it up from the back. So this is my alien head.
You had to do that.
Yeah, but you have the nicer one, Rob.
Yeah, but that's but look at that, dude. That's one of the greatest special editions of all time.
But it's DVD, Rob. It's DVDs.
Yeah, but you could put your...
Yeah. So this came out in Japan with it was 25 years edition, so it probably should have come out, Rob, 2004, if I...
Yeah, dude, look at that. Look at that. Is that not the greatest special edition of all time?
Could put out this one. Wait, put it right here.
By the way, this is why the Japanese are still the goats when it comes to special editions.
So you have every movie in the 2 versions of it, and an extra disc behind it. They're just a slot, but this was just, like Rob said, it is a DVD collection. It's not a Blu-ray collection.
That's only because you haven't put Blu-rays in there. You could if you wanted to.
I could, Rob. And Rob said he was envious, but when Rob started his show, I thought, oh, he has the same head as myself. And then he showed Pearl, and I thought, no, this is not the same head as you have. This is a real. Dude,
I got my Pearl, but it doesn't have discs inside. Look at that! What a great idea that was. Ugh, yeah, so good.
And it's heavy, Rob. It's heavy.
By the way, as we've been talking, I want to give a shout out to Hector Spector. Hector Spector, subscribe to this channel.
Great.
And I want to think that Hector Spector subscribed just now because that's just how cool we are. Because if someone named Hector Spector subscribed, that's a really cool name. So thanks, man, for becoming a subscriber to the channel.
Rob, have you a special edition ready to go?
I do.
Okay.
I do.
Did you went through your Laserdisc collection?
I did. As you know, I've been going through my because I have access to it now, and I've been going through my laser, and I keep finding Laserdisc collections.
When you said you have access now, I think when going through the jungle, chopping.
Well, no, I mean stuff is moving around. I mean, I keep saying it, but there's changes coming, thanks to once again Connie. Let's Get Physical Media, and I've still got a few more. I've been buying more lights and stuff, and I'm going to square off the thing. But so, I found this. Let me go full frame on this one.
Yeah. Do it.
Natural Born Killers, the director. And by the way, Dieter, is this not shiny? That is shiny. Once again, this is an official Pioneer special edition release when they would do this. Box set. And it's funny. It's like, let me ask you something, man. Is it, like, I'm looking at these things, and I have an existential problem as I'm going through my Laserdisc collection. This video is garbage. I have Natural Born Killers in, like, I think a media book. On HD, which is 6 times better than this NTSC garbage video. There's no reason, honestly, to collect these things.
No,
I have them, really, but I look at this and I'm like, okay, I just think this is cool, So allow me to open it up. So
was it from Pioneer, Rob? Was it from Pioneer itself?
Yeah. And so in it, it starts out and it comes with this, like liner notes. It's like an LP, and it's beautiful. And there's design work and stuff in here. But check this out. What's really cool, look at this, is that the individual disc sleeves.
Great.
Natural. And then, of course, Born.
So it was on three discs?
Yeah.
Was it CAV?
That's interesting. I don't, and then of course Killers.
Or was it a bonus disc?
I don't. Okay, it's the director's cut, 7 additional scenes. It's got of course the AC3 discrete 6-track. Now Laserdisc collectors are still going on. The AC3 tracks, on these discs are dope. So that alone is worth maybe saving them for. The video's garbage, but it was the best at the time. But the AC3 tracks will still rock your world.
Yeah.
I don't think it's I don't think it's CAV. I don't think it's CAV.
Okay. But so it's a bonus disc.
Yeah, but the thing about this is there's a lot of special features on these Pioneer discs, like on the Basic Instinct disc, that have never appeared again. And so what I've decided I probably should do is look at this. Even this the inside of the box cover has an Oliver Stone note. Yeah. And I feel like I can't get rid of these things because in a way maybe there's stuff on here that's the last of I don't want to. What if I'm missing something? And I feel like I should start ripping these things, like hook up my Lasers player to my computer, start ripping this stuff and putting it on my YouTube channel. Because who knows? I know the Basic Instinct.
Like you said,
stuff,
on the Basic Instinct laser, there's stuff too on it.
Yeah, and there's an hour-long intercut interviews with everybody that have never been seen anywhere else, and they're not on the Blu-ray because nobody has them. Like, where did those master tapes go? Nobody knows, and the people at the studio don't know. They're like, these documentaries were done. The Basic Instinct disc was done 25 years ago. So where did the videotapes go? And nowhere. No one knows where they are. So it's like putting them on YouTube at least gives you some kind of ability to save
access to this stuff. Yeah.
I don't know.
So last week I forgot, Rob, our little segment. Do you know this movie? I forgot to make this segment last week. So I have 2 titles this week. And the first one I know you have. So the question is just, have you seen it until now, Rob? Have you watched No One Lives?
I've not.
I've not. So it's from Ryo Kitamura. A little tip for our horror fans out there. Really nice. And I don't remember, Rob, what was the censorship in Germany? Did it came through uncut? Probably not.
I think you could say it was.
It was. Have to check. So No One Lives. Nice little tip for people who doesn't know it. From Ryo Kitamura, who did Versus with Luke Evans. No One Lives. Don't watch any trailers. No, you don't have to. Just go in blind. No One Lives. So this is for last week. And the next one, which I like, I'm a little bit fan of the director. Have you seen Frozen, Rob?
Yes, I love that movie. I have
from
that
Adam
disc.
Green.
Adam Green. I'm a skier.
Tell the people a little bit about it, Rob. What it's about, Frozen.
Well, it's about people that get basically stuck on a chairlift.
Yeah.
In the snow.
Yeah.
And
it's getting cold, and it's getting fucking cold.
And yes, and it's very good.
Yeah, it's with Sean Ashmore. It's just an easy setup for me. So it's one of those movies who has a nice little setup, and was really nice thriller. So it's probably, considering Adam Green, I love his show that he did, Holliston. Mm-hmm. But this is probably his best movie considering thriller, something like a.
I really like. I mean, I'm a skier. I grew up skiing, so I really enjoy this film a lot, and I have the Blu-ray.
Great, Rob. So, tip from us, from both of us. Rob has seen it. Frozen from Adam Green. From when was this movie, Rob? I have to check. It's from Anchor Bay. So it's probably 2010, if I look it up correctly. 2010. It has a lot of special features. Adam is always great for it. Director's commentary, 2 audio commentaries, and so forth. And it's from Anchor Bay. Are they still releasing stuff? Anchor Bay?
That's a good question. I don't know. Good question.
What happened to Rob? What happened to Anchor Bay? Now that I have this disc in my hand,
I don't know if they're still here. I think they were bought.
Ah, okay.
Something like that.
Okay. So, tip from Rob and myself: Frozen, little cool thriller that I picked out. So, Rob, I'm through with all my shenanigans.
Yes, sir. I mean, that's it. You're done with all of your shenanigans. So that's
for this week.
So does that mean that we have to end this show?
No. Is there still something left for us to do before the kickoff starts?
No, I think other than Stubble McShave scaring me because he wants to hobble us and say that he's our number one fan, I would say no. I think it's time to.
But Stubble, we didn't write the Wheel of Time series, so I don't know what you want from us. We can't give you another book for the Wheel of Time.
I think he just loves us because we're on the internet. You know, we're internet famous.
Internet famous.
in our amongst a small group of discerning viewers, internet famous.
Yeah,
which is good.
Totally.
So, on that note, there's 20 minutes, actually 23 minutes until the kickoff.
So Rob, do you have to do another prediction? England versus Italy.
I just want to point out it's another kickoff that Germany's not involved in, right?
Oh, I'm so happy if it's behind us, the Euro. I'm so happy if it's behind us. So Rob, your prediction. You have to do it again.
Here's
England
the thing.
versus Italy.
Here's the thing. It's been since
because the bad Canadian is probably for Italy.
Well, I just want to point out that Britain had a huge win today. Sir Richard Branson went into orbit. He went Virgin Galactic finally after some test flights. Richard Branson smoked Jeff Bezos, beat him by 9 days into space. Blue Origin's launch is going to come on the anniversary of the moon landing, July 20th. I understand why he did it, but Richard Branson, they had a successful flight, history-making flight. So I think Richard Branson did for England today what England will not do on the soccer field, the football field. Ooh. I believe that Richard Branson has stolen English thunder.
Okay.
And he's pushed the boundaries of space exploration by being a billionaire that made it to space first. This day will be remembered forever for Sir Richard Branson going into orbit. It will not be remembered for England winning a football game.
So how will it end, Rob? How will it end? Give us an exact score because we know you did very well on the last one. You got 2 out of 3. You got the win and the goal difference correct with the 3-1.
Well, being that I'm the insightful American that knows oh so very much about football.
Correct. That's why you have to give us an exact score. How will it end?
The exact
will it go to the penalty kick?
Yes, the exact score is going to be 3-2, Italy with the penalty kick. That's how the game will end. Okay,
let's talk about it next week. How good your prediction was. But
I'll tell you something. You know what? If No Time to Die had already come out, I would have said, you know what? England will win. But I'm still waiting.
So I, of course, will have to cross my fingers for England because I can only say we've lost to the best. We've lost to the best. Okay? You know, football could be coming home in half an hour, Rob. Wait for it. England. Well, okay.
I just have to say that if because I always have interesting reasons. I have to say, let me ask you this: English girls or Italian girls?
both.
I know, right? I mean, what are you going to do? What are you going to say? But we all know the truth, don't we? Anyway,
Okay.
no, I wish both teams good luck, and may the best team win.
Correct.
And
Correct.
even though I've made a prediction, I really don't know anything about either team in terms of their abilities.
But Rob, at least you gave us a score, not like you told me. I believe your nephew or something like this. They play, but just no, they don't keep. They don't.
Oh,
keep any score.
yes, that was bad. That was you remember
And
everything I say. I love it.
You were thinking, what? They don't keep any score. Everybody gets a trophy in your world, Rob.
No, I think you know what we really want with all of these matchups. What we want to see is a great game. I think that's the most important thing, is that we see a great game with a lot of athletic prowess on display. And I have to say, to be honest, I'm joking about, not really, but England, isn't it? It's been since 1966.
Correct, Rob. You know your stuff, Rob.
I do.
Damn it!
I do try
I'm
and keep up. I know,
I
because
I know everything about you, but you still, the surprises keeps coming. But you're right, Rob.
1966.
Since, the last time they won.
Yeah.
Anything.
So wouldn't it be kind of cool?
Yeah. On their own turf.
Yeah, on their own home turf. They're bringing that home. I think it would mean a lot.
Yeah.
Of course, then again, they did leave the European Union, so there's a lot at stake here.
And you're right, but Italy is strong.
They are strong.
Yeah, but like you said, all we want is a great game, which Germany against England was not.
Well, let me ask you one thing.
With the final score, the game was.
It's true. If you had to have a celebratory meal, though, if you could eat a celebratory meal with the winning team, would you rather have English cuisine or Italian cuisine? I mean, would you rather have a crumpet and tea or pasta and lasagna and red wine?
I would go with pasta.
Yeah, right? Just saying.
Oh, come on, Donny Pearson. My prediction 5-0 England. What kind of
bangers and mash?
That's in the life.
All I know is it's going to be a lot of fun to watch this game.
Totally. So from our perspective, thanks, Rob, for starting the show early so that we can switch off and I can watch the game a little bit in the background. So from my perspective, jede Person, die du triffst, hat eine Geschichte zu erzählen, die du noch zu hören hast. Alles, was du tun musst, ist zuhören.
Well, I want to thank my moderating staff here. Justin Toner's here. Brian Hepburn is here. Has been here. So I want to thank you all for doing what you do with those blue wrenches. Yes, indeed. I want to thank everyone who supports the channel through tips and super chats. Thank you very much. And all the people that write in letters. If you would like to write a letter to us, you can write free of charge to theburnettwork.net. Go to our website, read Willow Yang's letters under Willow Talk. You can find Willow Yang, her articles, her letters, all the things she's written, and they're all worth reading. She's also a PhD microbiologist, and she has the same name, Willow, if you think about it. That's what she explained to me early on. Happy to have her. Also, Dieter Bastian, thank you for another fine show. And on that note,
Rob, for having me on.
Yes, and I have to say in English, every person you meet has a story to tell that you have yet to hear, and all you have to do is listen.